What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 17 of Nerd Outlet. Joining me as always, Greg.
Fuck Chows.
Nathan.
Yeah. Fuck Gabe.
As you can tell, we're missing one of our crew members.
Esteemed members.
Gabriella Tuesta. R.I.P.
He a bitch.
Had to go to the airport.
Had to go pick up his mom. Dude.
Because he's a good son.
Yeah, right.
Fucking peasant.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. So, how you guys doing this week? It's nothing special going on or anything.
Nah, there's nothing going on in video games right now.
Nothing.
No
announcements, no news.
It's all topic based this
all
week.
Topic.
All.
And by all topic, I mean E3 reaction.
E3.
I like E3. E3 was good this year.
This was a very good year.
After the shitty ass first day. Because I'm going to be honest.
Average. It was
okay.
It was okay.
Let's do a quick recap of what we thought of each one in like a sentence or less.
Okay.
All right, we first had EA.
Which showed us everything they were going to show before the show.
Dev Diaries. Titanfall looks good.
CEO talk.
Battlefield looks good.
Battlefield looks good, but they didn't show almost anything until after the conference. Titanfall was the only thing that I really walked away from. That was dope.
Hey,
but I expected that.
Strong start. Nothing. Good end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember from that conference is what I was waiting for the whole time was when I heard Amy Hennig's voice. She showed me her game, the voice actor, for like 5 seconds.
5 seconds of visceral game, Star Wars game.
And it went away.
That's it.
Yeah. That was literally it.
But we had to have a 5-minute...
I'll take it, though.
A 5-minute dev
My prediction
talk.
came true, so...
Yeah.
We needed a 5-minute dev talk on everything we already knew about those Star Wars games.
We just love the Star Wars universe and franchise, so we're working on a game here at Visceral Games.
Yeah, well, did they... Was that the first time that they announced that there will be a Battlefront 2 or whatever at next year?
I think it's the first time they officially came out and said something about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't think people really gave a shit about breaking that rumor, so...
No, yeah, I mean... It was a rumor, and then people heard about it in a, what is it? I'm trying to think what they do every quarter, like a press hearing. No, it's a calling.
It's a quarter report.
Yeah, like quarter report. That's when everybody came
conference
out.
Review, whatever. Conference call review thing.
Quarterly review.
Yeah, quarterly review. That's when DICE came out and was like, yeah, after this couple expansions, we're like going full into Battlefront 2. That's when we're gonna have a campaign, space battles, all this stuff.
Yeah, but it's and then this is the first time we realized it's coming out holiday 2017.
Yeah,
presumably. So yeah, that was all right. Then we had later that night Bethesda's second E3 conference they've ever had. It was all right. I think it was
pretty
good. If you compare it to last year's. It doesn't even touch. It doesn't have anything to hold again next to it.
There's some weird things. The way they presented Dishonored 2 was very weird. Very weird.
Well, I think they tried to play it out in the aspect of, hey, everybody loves Dishonored like they do in Fallout. I'm like, no, Dishonored's not that type of franchise.
It's not the same.
Yeah, people really do like the first Dishonored, but like they're treating it how they treated Fallout last time. But the thing is like, there was so much secrecy, and also Fallout was the most hyped game for E3. Dishonored is not. It isn't.
Not at all.
And it felt odd. It felt oddly paced.
They just needed the end part of the demo, like
That's
the
it.
most exciting, coolest part of the demo.
5 minutes of that game, release date, bam, done.
Yeah, they showed it off like they were about to show what I was waiting for, Evil Within 2, which would have been their other headliner. And they never showed anything else. There was no other headliners.
Also, I don't think I showed this to Greg, but do you remember? So the conference started with like, it was a terminal, like kind of like in Fallout universe, and it was a bunch of code and all that type of stuff, and it popped up with a bunch of titles that have already been released that are going to be released.
Oh right.
There's a new Wolfenstein with no release date.
Title. Yep.
Yeah, it was New Colossus. So.
Nothing
officially.
That was a cool Easter egg. I like how they did that.
That was cool. It's a cool little Easter egg that people either found right then and there. We didn't. or at least I didn't while we were watching.
Too fast.
But it was cool to see it afterwards. But it's an okay conference. I think it started off really cool with Quake Champions being announced.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
That was nice.
That was awesome. It is going to be PC only. But I really don't think...
Yeah, really.
I mean, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they come out and announce that it's going to be on Xbox and
later
and PlayStation later.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot like how like the new Cliffy B game is strictly PC. I could see, hey, we're structuring this game this way, and it's just not going to adapt to a controller that well. So we're just going to focus on it in one console. And I mean, like, I think it's fine for me, but I definitely understand. Like, I would be kind of bummed because Quake's really fun, and the fact that it's not going to be in consoles, it just means it's not going to be in that much more hands, you know.
Is Lawbreakers PC only?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Cliffy B has come out and said like multiple times it's going to stay that way, unless something completely changes.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah. It's not going to be free to play anymore as well.
I knew that.
And I'm happy with that. I'd rather spend $60 on that game and just get everything. So
that's just so weird though. It's going PC only where every time I see somebody like demonstrate that game, it's with an Xbox One remote.
Which one?
Lawbreakers.
I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, you can use one. I'm sure.
Yeah. You can use one, but it's just weird though.
Everything
like,
I've seen has been that's weird because I've never seen a controller. But I mean, I don't know.
No, I was watching the game earlier today, and I saw LB, and I was like, oh, so they're playing on Xbox One.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be an Xbox 360 or one controller. So, so that was the first day. It was a little lackluster, in my opinion. Then Sony or Xbox with Microsoft's conference was the beginning of would that be Tuesday? No, Monday. That was Sunday night.
Monday.
So coming in Monday morning, around noon, we had Microsoft's conference, and
oh boy,
damn, that was good. Do you guys want to get into it now?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Let's go ahead. Microsoft was Microsoft was
really good.
All right,
I
so
still remember
set the bar.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I don't know if Sony's gonna be able to top this.
Yeah, so we'll talk about. I don't want to bring that up yet. I want to talk about comparisons and what we think at the end of it. But yeah, the two big guys really showed up. They really showed up this year, and I'm really excited for the future of Xbox, and you'll know why if you haven't realized everything that's been announced yet. We're about to tell you. So they started off with a trailer for their new Xbox, which was already speculated even before the rumors were leaking that we would get a slim Xbox, and it was correct. Xbox One S is coming out.
Very slim.
Very, very slim. It's coming out this fall. It's a white model. Looks really cool. Redesign and all that type of stuff. If you want to look at it, check anywhere on the internet. It's really slick looking. They are bringing in a nice white controller, and it looks like the backs of like all the new controllers are going to be kind of the standard now for controllers, where it has the rubber texture. But they also came out and said that this is the first time you're going to see new and improved thumbsticks, which I bet you are very reminiscent of maybe a cheaper version of the Xbox One Elite controller.
Some sticks with grips that don't rub down as quickly as maybe
or
the 360 would.
My problem with the Xbox One, my Xbox One controller before I got that, I didn't have any problems with the sticks rubbing off, but I had problems with the actual texture. Hurt my fingers after over an hour.
Too tough.
Yeah, it made my fingers, like my thumbs, raw.
Dang.
I haven't had a problem with that with the Xbox Elite controller. So yeah, new, really
40% smaller.
Yeah, 40% smaller. It's nice that it's small. My favorite part of this whole thing is that it has an internal power supply in it.
Same. Completely agree.
We never have to lug around, and I hope that's just the future of Xbox.
Yeah, seriously. Like everything going forward, no fucking power brick externally.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is they really just didn't want that Xbox One to overheat.
Yeah,
I think that was my biggest. I think they
put so much ventilation on it too. Like every side of it has.
I mean, hey, it's
vents.
a good thing. I'd rather have more fans and vents than fucking
It's just kind of ridiculous that your new console is bigger than the Xbox like original, and then has an external Xbox. Like,
I know. That's my biggest thing. Is just like, fuck, dude. There's probably room in that thing if I open it up for a power supply to be lodged in there in some way. Because they made this one like it's weird because it's very thin inside of there, but it's very elongated. I guess that's how they found room. That's how they made room for it. It's not just one huge rectangular box.
Looks great though. I mean, if you don't have an Xbox, there's so many exclusives they showed off that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, so
you should probably look into getting one.
Yeah, and they're doing multiple models. So, starting off, it's $299 at 500 gigs, and I think a $50 upgrade for the terabyte, and I would say another $50 upgrade for the 2 terabyte.
Yeah, you can get a 2 terabyte.
So I think you can get a new Xbox One S for $399 if you wanted 2 terabytes, and I think that's a steal. That is a steal.
And you can add an external to it, make it 4 terabytes
if you wanted to, man. I mean, like at that point, I don't really think you really need. They did show a couple other things before you get into the games, like clubs. It looks like it's going to be the communities, just like Sony has with PlayStation 4. They're going to be having a lot of like events and tournament things, and I don't really want to go too much into it, but a lot more community based stuff that I think Sony needs to kind of take a note from. I think
it's PSN.
Yeah, well, it's not really fixing the PSN. I think they lose track of what you want to do with those type of like environments. And Sony's always like friends, and like Xbox like, hey, your friends are right here, but if you want to join community, like a community that thrives in this area, you want to do it like this. And I feel like just Sony doesn't know how to do it yet.
True. Xbox Live has always been about community. I think, especially with the 360.
I always realize that Xbox is always about bringing people you don't know into your small community,
right?
And you can either choose it to just be friends or have the best of both worlds, people you know, and
just have a good experience playing a similar interest.
And they also brought out my favorite thing when it comes to software stuff. Before we get into the actual games, is I think they're gonna have this app. I don't know if it's an app or it's integrated, but you can actually look for players for any game.
Yep.
And it posts into a feed, just like if I wanted to look for like somebody for Destiny, I would have to go on an external website, look for people who are looking to do this certain thing. Now they have
trying to run this raid.
Hey,
got 2 people, need some other people.
Yep. Now you can do that, or not now, but when they release it, you'll be able to do that for any game. And it pops up in that feed. Really, they said it looked simple. It looked like it'd be something pretty quick, and something that I think that's the thing, is they needed to find a alternative that isn't. It is fast for me to get to my computer and all that type of stuff, but I think it's just a pain. Like, it's taking me out of the experience. Now I'm just probably a few clicks away, or a few button presses away from asking somebody to help me out in this raid. And I bet you $20 they'll probably have it integrated to where you can, if someone wants to join you and you let them accept that, it'll bump you can invite them right into your game like that, you know. Yeah. I don't have to go to the website, then go type their PlayStation Network ID in there, start a chat, then let them join my my team.
Yeah, it seems like they're making it a lot easier to create chats or parties.
Yeah,
and then also invite people to games.
Bringing people
really quickly.
You don't know to your environment that you've never spoken to before, and that's what I'm saying. Sony needs something like that. Of course, they said we're going to do more multiplayer servers and all that type of stuff. So enough about that. Let's get into the games. I'm not going to do this in order because that's what I'm looking at. It's not really in order. But let's bring one up because we didn't see too much about it, but I'm interested in it. Recore. Recore. What's the studio's name? I can't remember. It's the guys that made Metroid Prime. I can't remember.
I don't know.
But it's actually the developers that made Metroid Prime. So if you're a big Metroid fan, there you go.
They go under a new name now because since they're not with Nintendo.
Yeah, since they're not with Nintendo. But yeah, so they their new game, it's coming out in September.
With
September
Inafune.
13th.
Looks a lot better than I thought.
With Inafune.
Inafune, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also because I'm a big Halo fan, got to bring his name out. Joseph Staten. He's actually the guy that was writing the original story to Destiny before that got canned a year before the game was released. He went back to Microsoft, and now he wrote the story for this one, or he's helping with the story. He's the main story lead, and solely because of that, and then the track record that dev team has. I mean, dude, it's like a power group. It's like a super group. So I think that I've looked at some gameplay outside of the trailer. I don't know if you guys have. It looks really cool. It looks simple enough to where it's fun, but it looks. I think it has enough variety to where it doesn't get a stale. I hope it's under 10 hours. I mean, that's like weird to say, but I feel like looking from like what we've seen from the game, I think it's going to be like an 8-10 hour, maybe 12-hour journey, which I would want. Nothing more than that. I don't want it to be this big 30-hour game. I think I would get bored at that point. It looks good though.
Mm-hmm. It definitely looks fun. I think of it more as it's not entirely a platformer because there is a lot of third-person shooting, but I kind of look at it as like a platformer with puzzles and platforming elements. And then I think the partner characters, the mechs basically that you have as your partners throughout the story look really cool. I think those character designs are very interesting.
Yeah, and they all play different mechanics. They all have different ways.
Yeah, ways to solve puzzles or advance.
Very Zelda-like to me, to where it's like, hey, use this one thing to get to the point A to point B. So I think it looks cool. The next game, we'll talk about this since there's other games we would probably want to talk about. Forza Horizon 3.
Oh,
that game looks gorgeous.
Looks so good.
And what's crazy too is like I saw the game and I was like, dude, this looks really good. Let me see what Gran Turismo Sport looks like. So while I was on break today at work,
oh Lord,
looked at GT Sport. It was like a 9-minute trailer. Got 3 minutes into it and I was like, nah, this game still isn't for me.
Look, they can make the trailers look like as good as they want, but when you get in the game, it never looks good.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It never looks good. And dude, I'm gonna be honest, it just doesn't play nice.
No,
GT's still too like in the past. I mean, like, dude, they need to update.
It's too sim, man. It's too sim.
Granted, Horizon is the more arcadey of the Forzas, but still, like, dude, Forza's just doing everything right with the racing.
Yeah, this time around, it's set in Australia, so the Horizon event is going
very cool.
Going to Aussie. I'm excited for it. It looks, but like I'm saying, it's the Forza guys are always the two devs. Always breaking the boundaries, like what you think, like, you know, console hardware could push. And if they're doing this with like an Xbox now, do you just imagine what this game's gonna look like next holiday season when Forza 7 is gonna be in 4K?
Yeah, racing sims are always like proof of, you know, the power and graphics you can put on a console.
You can push and all that type of stuff. Yeah. And well, the Horizon's really cool because it is open world as well. Yep. You know, it looks that good and it's open world. You know, like
and Forza seamless co-op, like drop in, drop out.
Drop in, drop out. 4-player co-op. And it's cross-play with Windows as well, which I want to get into right now because it's the only thing I forgot other than the video games. Everything they showed at this conference is part of the new program called Xbox Play Anywhere. And it's very reminiscent of like Sony's cross-play and cross-buy platform and cross-play platform, to where if I'm playing, if I buy this next Forza, I get a copy for both my PC or my Windows 10 PC and my Xbox One, and I can play it from my Xbox. Let's say I have an Xbox at another house. You know, first world problems. I got an Xbox over there and a PC, you know, somewhere else. Or let's say I'm on my PC and then I go and travel and I got my Xbox with me and I can, you know, that saves in the cloud. I jump right back in where I was on my PC. That was on my Xbox. And they're also, I don't know every single one, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, like they did at the conference, that you can play it on PC and Xbox together with the new Forza. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they
No, I mean that's a fact because they had 2 people on stage, I think, playing on PC and 2 on Xbox. People,
that's what I thought it was. Yeah. And
they were playing at the same time. in the same game.
Yeah, it was the same. It was
doing different races, but in the same game.
Also, let's like applaud both Sony and Microsoft because almost everything we saw was a live demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well
Like
done.
other than just regular trailers, but I'm saying like when it's gameplay, when it's a heavy like gameplay and it's not switching from like scene to scene like a trailer, everything was being played on an Xbox or a PlayStation.
True. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
EA didn't have that. It was all pre-recorded.
Yep.
How pre-recorded concept art and stuff like that.
I don't think Bethesda had any either. If I'm
True.
I could be mistaken.
Other than Dishonored.
Dishonored was
Dishonored
I think,
was,
live.
yeah.
No, I don't think it was
it not?
because it was jumping like from
Yeah.
certain
Might,
segments.
might not have been.
I want to say they showed what? They showed a trailer for Dishonored. Then they showed Corvo and what's her name?
Emily?
Emily. They showed Corvo and Emily at the funeral for her mother. And then after that, I think that gameplay was live.
I'm not sure.
I hope so. It looked good. I'm not doubting.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sitting here questioning if Dishonored is going to play well. I think it will play well. But yeah, both Microsoft and Sony had so many live gameplay demos. And I was it's just nice to finally see that now.
Yeah.
Also, talking about live demos, Sony did come out and say everything that we're about to talk about in a minute about Sony was on a regular PS4 and not, the quote unquote Neo.
Nice.
So yeah, Forza Horizon looks really good. That's going to be mid-September, late September, I think.
I'm buying it.
Yeah, I want it. Yeah.
I missed out on Forza Horizon 2, and the fact that I can play co-op through the whole game with a buddy, like, I'm sold.
I mean, me and
I'm
you,
done.
dude. I mean, like, I want a racing
Yeah, I'll play
game.
with you. I'll play with my best friend.
I mean,
like,
dude,
I don't care.
it's so gorgeous, and I think the new Australia vibe is.
You got
awesome.
off-road races. You got
dude, that's
trophy
my
trucks. You got
That
buggies.
was my favorite thing in Horizon 2
exotics,
was the
everything.
off-road stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're just adding up to that, like, times 10 in this one. I'm like, oh, thank you. So, yeah, that looks really good. So, any strategy fans over here? Any real-time strategy fans?
RTS.
If we're talking about Gwent, yeah, I'm a strategy fan.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Halo Wars?
Yeah, Halo Wars. So, yeah, I never really got into Halo Wars, but it is a very beloved game by fans.
Solid RTS, a little simplified, but
I mean, yeah, it's a console version.
Right.
Even though it is going to be on Windows 10 as well. Just like I said, everything we're going to be talking about right now is going to be on both. I think it looked really cool for RTS. I mean, if there's anything that's going to grab me into an RTS, it's going to be the Halo franchise or something of that caliber. Like I said, like you said, it does look simple though. And I think it's a good thing.
yeah, it never really worked against Halo Wars. I don't think. I think it just made it kind of stand on its own with a more simplified.
You don't have to be the
version of
hardest,
RTS.
difficult RTS.
Yeah.
In the world, especially if it's a console game. But yeah, it was going to come out like we were speculating holiday 2016, but it looks like it got pushed back to I think February 2017. But if you are listening to this week, there is a open beta out for I know it's Xbox. I'm not entirely sure if it's Windows 10 as well. But if you got an Xbox Live account, going to that beta. I think it's till the 20th. It looks cool. I've been looking at what other people have been saying that are big fans of the first one on the internet. They're loving it. It's kind of an updated version of the one that came out a couple years ago. So
The cool thing about Halo Wars is they can dive deeper into the Halo lore, I think, and explore different stories that
because
don't necessarily have to follow the Master Chief campaign.
Yep,
They can tell off stories that are more in the books maybe or
Yep, and
kind
I'm
of expanded
all
universe.
for that, man. All for that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, if we're gonna talk about that, I just wish that they would make another 343 studio. Make 2 343 studios and have like a Master Chief studio that does the multiplayer. It's your regular numbered game.
And then your lock games.
Oh fuck that! No, but like how you have your Forza Motorsports every other year,
Right, and then you have
every
Horizon.
other year you have your Forza Horizons.
Right.
I want a Horizon team. I want something that hey, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna make more ODST games.
Exactly.
Because ODST is when that
Very
game came
cool.
out, I didn't like it, but it got back on. It's on the Master Chief Collection now, and fuck. I underestimated that game. I think it was because I was younger and I wanted like a more badass, loud, rambunctious Master Chief.
Right.
And this time around, I was like, a no name, didn't talk. It was very somber, very quiet, very dark,
Jazzy.
Yeah, kind of.
Marty McDonald. So
Hey, dude, and that score is awesome. That's the only thing I really loved in the game beforehand. But now replaying it, dude, that game is good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Halo Wars looks good. Let's get down to some of the bigger games. Gears of War 4.
Oh,
That demo.
yes.
That demo looked awesome. What do you think of the? Since you're the only one here that doesn't have an Xbox, Louther. What did you think of the Gears demo?
You want an Xbox now?
Do I want an Xbox now? Maybe. See, I've always liked Gears, and especially how they ended the Gears 4 demo with my dude. What's his name? Marcus.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Old man Marcus.
Old man Marcus. That it reminded me of I think it's Black Ops 2. Who, when they first showed off their gameplay, at the end of it, they had that old Frank Woods just sitting in a chair in a nursing home talking to you, and I was like, dude, I'm sold. Other than the fact that I never bought Black Ops 2, so I wasn't sold.
You just like old man characters.
Yeah, dude. That's at the same time too. That's why I
think
like
everybody
elderly.
Yeah.
Old man Kratos.
No, but that
Old man
game
Kratos.
looks awesome.
It
Hey.
does.
New weather effects. Using the environment to your advantage.
Mm-hmm. I was
mean-
kind of iffy about it first. Like, I thought it might be like a judgment where it's like, this isn't going to live up to what I expect from Gears 1, 2, 3. But
Yeah.
after seeing what they showed at the Microsoft conference,
Yeah, it was a full-fledged
I
demo.
think they're
It
going
looked gorgeous.
all in on like set pieces, making it over the top,
is
fantastic,
Gears.
like Gears. Yeah,
which
that's
is
what it
Gears.
is.
You want the
literally
crazy...
look like Gears, especially since it's not an Epic game. It didn't even
Pretty
look
damn
close
close.
to Judgment.
Well, I think it's like you can hate on 343 if you want, but I feel like Halo 4 did feel like a Halo game,
Halo 4, yeah,
campaign-wise.
you're right.
I
I think they misstepped on Halo 5, but
Yeah,
we'll see if they come
Halo
back
5
to it.
sucked.
Yeah.
But story wise, but no, but I'm saying like I feel like they're doing the Halo 4 treatment, maybe even better. Even though I liked Halo 4's campaign, it still did have some beats that didn't feel a little bit Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little too emotional, and in a bad way, I think. But everything they showed for Gears, man, it looks good. Everything, the beta was fun. And they came out and said that everybody was iffy on the graphics. They're like, don't worry, the graphics here. This is what the graphics are like now. They're even gonna look better when the game comes out. Very much improved.
Yep.
The lighting for the new multiplayer looks so much better. So I'm very happy with what Coalition is doing with Gears.
And Horde Mode 3.0.
Yep. Horde
So they're
mode
going
effect.
like
I mean,
full blown with content on this game. So
Yep. So yeah, we got campaign, awesome multiplayer that still feels like Gears, and bringing back Horde, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
That's how I feel about Gears.
new weapons, saw blade gun.
Dude, talking about Gears and a developer who worked on Gears Judgment, People Can Fly. You guys hear about the that USB stick that they were Microsoft was handing out to all the press?
Yeah.
That on that USB stick there is a file for Bulletstorm Remastered.
Yep.
What
I'd
you
be
guys-
stoked for that.
I'd be down for it.
See, I never-
I didn't care about that game, but
Talking about games that I don't think at the time I really looked at and really me and you had this
Same.
conversation
Yeah.
last time this game was brought up. I didn't want when I tried that game out, I didn't like it. I was like,
Dude,
but-
it was weird. It
but
was
I didn't like the
different.
demo
I
at all.
remember
Yeah.
it also came out in a time that everything was so gritty and
Serious, yeah.
serious that it felt out of place. But now I want that.
Same.
You know, I've grown up too. I was what? How old is that? Was that 2010? That was 6 years ago.
Yes,
I
either
was
10 or
16
11.
years old. I was 16. I was in high school, dude. I was in high school. Like I wanted.
listen to Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, listen to Devil Wears Prada and playing COD and Halo. Like that's all I wanted. I wanted stuff. I
Eating
don't want-
Doritos and sipping on Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain
Oh, a lot of Mountain Dew, a lot of Doritos. Not much is changing that facet, but of my life.
Pitch black, just like constantly pouring from cans.
I wasn't. I'll say that. Like I had like dark black hair. I straightened it, but I was never emo. Like really. So I'm glad I never had like a
Emo
really bad
phase.
Emo phase.
Yeah.
Or
Scene phase.
my Chemical Romance phase.
Oh man, but
After
that band though.
copious amounts
Hey,
of
I liked
Mountain
My
Dew.
Chemical Romance. They were good. Their last album sucked.
They're an
but,
amazing band.
But yeah, that looks good. What was the next big thing? We'll talk about it because they didn't show much Dead Rising 4.
Dude, I'm hoping that's multiplayer.
So, I think
I'm sure it is.
It is because it's also the only one that didn't say exclusive.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure.
Xbox One and
I was
Windows
listening
10.
to
Exclusive.
Kind of Funny, and Colin said that. What were you saying, Greg?
I think I was just repeating the thing they showed before every single game.
Oh, the
Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive.
But it looks like
Sorry, I got repetitive.
so yeah, they're calling it Dead Rising 4, and the game's coming out this year, this holiday.
I'm so excited.
It's Christmas themed.
Yep.
So if that game gets delayed, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But dude, it looks.
Frank West?
It leaked that the image leaked last week, and it looks like it is the same guy from the first one. And I was like, dude, this kind of looks like old school Dead Rising, like, at least the poster that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And then the trailer came out. I was like, all right, this looks like a mishmash of like open worlds from Dead Rising 3, but big like mall like areas like Dead Rising 1 had, and it's the same character, and it still has the same feel, and the color palette's so much better than Dead Rising 3. So I'm super excited for it. What do you got? What do you think, Louther?
dude. See, I wasn't digging Dead Rising 3.
It was all right,
because of the color palette.
Too gritty.
Dude,
but it also like I don't know, like the actual gameplay didn't feel as like I played the first one and loved it, and now that they're kind of harking back to that one, I feel like the gameplay might actually be a lot better. So that's how I'm more optimistic on this game, solely because I don't think it's the best thing in the world, but I enjoy it. It's like a Sunset Overdrive. It's not the best game in the world, but damn, it's fun.
Yeah.
So I think it'll kind of fill that void that Dead Rising 3 was trying to fill, but Sunset filled instead with like a open world. It's not the best thing in the world, but you're like, damn, it's fun, it's crazy, it's over the top, it's breaking the fourth wall, it knows it's a game. And I think that's the best thing about Dead Rising is, and that's what I'm talking about. I think we talked about it last week. The color palette for Dead Rising 3 didn't fit anything else in the game. So I'm glad that they're going back to this. And I think having like a Christmas theme is so over the top and awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they showed a lot of games. They showed a good bit.
Definitely did a good job of just game after game after game.
Yeah,
keeping it rolling.
They definitely talked a lot less than EA.
Mm-hmm.
Sony being out of all of them, we'll talk about that, of course, after this. Barely talked.
But definitely better pace than Ubisoft.
Yes.
For sure.
Dude, Microsoft sent like they were the ones who were setting the bar for E3, because I know I was sitting right next to Nathan and I'm watching their show and I was like, dude, hopefully Sony can top this.
What's next? I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then Ubisoft came and I was like,
yeah, I don't even
Take a
honestly want
nap.
to talk about that other than like.
no, I
one
mean, dude,
other-
if you guys
a
want to
couple
talk
things.
if you guys want to talk about Watch Dogs, we can talk about Watch Dogs. But at the
Yeah.
same time, we already talked about Watch Dogs.
I think we should. I think we should go over Ubisoft. I mean, I'm not going to belabor the point, but
No, yeah. But here, let's see. We got Halo, we got Record. They showed a little bit of Killer Instinct. Looked all right.
yeah. Briefly talked
see-
about Inside coming out next week.
Yeah. Inside looks awesome.
I mean,
I just want it. I'm glad they didn't.
we
show
just
much
know
of
it's
it
going to be
either.
good.
That's
cool we got a release date.
Scalebound, I would say, is the only kind of disappointing thing.
Yeah.
So me and Luther watched it together,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Dude, this combat just looks off."
I mean, the first time I saw this game, I was not too big on it because to me, I'm getting heavy like Devil May Cry feel from it,
I just hate.
and
how
even
the
then,
character looks.
it doesn't look like it's even gonna be like, I don't know, up to
Good.
par with what
So
Devil
this
May
is-
Cry is.
See, the thing is, when they first showed it, didn't give a shit, and then remember they showed gameplay like a year later.
Yeah, and it looked
It
pretty.
was
decent.
it was like last year. And it looked I thought it looked great. I showed it to you. I was like, dude, I'm stoked for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it got delayed, and I was like, cool, whatever. Take your time. This actually looks really good. And then we saw this, and I was like, ooh.
See, I've always been like mediocre on it. Like, it's platinum. I'm not too big on their games.
I'm not big on them either.
I'm not a huge
but,
fan of them, but
but there's like 20 minutes they had from like last year. It looked cool.
Yeah, dude. Last year, what they were showing when he was, what was he fighting, like a dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
dude,
but it was like,
awesome.
it looked like more like what you're going to do throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
And then this boss fight, I was like, damn, this boss fight sucks.
yeah.
I don't want to bark on it too much, but yeah, it's definitely probably a game I'm not going to buy now. But
It's
again,
not really exclusive. I'm like super excited for.
oh yeah, but this one I'm super excited for, especially
yeah?
after watching it. Sea of Thieves.
Ooh.
So they showed
Sea of Thieves.
yeah. So they got 4 YouTubers. Put them in or no, 8. Was it 8?
The
YouTubers?
most annoying YouTubers they could
Yeah.
Oh,
find.
yeah.
Jesus, these fucking people.
Yeah, they're
Come
pretty
on.
bad. They're pretty
Like
bad.
you could immediately, as soon as they started talking, you were like, "Oh, okay, these are YouTubers."
Apparently, this appeals to people, not to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to
Not
stab
my
all
favorite.
these people, but
At least they didn't have PewDiePie.
Ah, dude, I would definitely.
Actually, I would say PewDiePie was less annoying than all of them.
dude, I'd rather have PewDiePie.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
up, bros?
at least he's entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He's like Kobe. You hate him, but you also respect him.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I feel like this is the point where the Microsoft conference had a little misstep, just because I think
Are you talking about the game Sea of Thieves or how they?
I think they were the way they presented it, which is going to be something I'm going to talk about a lot of how the games were shown with other conferences as well. But with this, I think just the way they showed it, because it's not showing if it has any kind of story whatsoever. So it's making it seem like, which it could be, it's just a kind of like the Culling or like Ark or any of these other games where you're just in a survival, basically online multiplayer game, and you just kind of do whatever you want. So like you and your friends getting on a ship, and you can go attack other people if you want, or you just kind of explore. Like,
See, I was taking it in more of a like survival MMO, and not in the aspect of like the culling where it's like you get dropped in this one area and you go out and kill, but like more like you probably don't die a lot, and if you do, you're still the same person, but like you're trying to become the best pirate kind of thing, and you're kind of just living in another like in a world with other pirates. I hope there's a story. It'd be cool. If not, like I think the game looks interesting enough to where if I get a couple of people who just want to fuck around,
yeah,
I think it looks awesome. I think the art style looks amazing.
our style is cool.
So, and it looks very, it just looks like a, let me put it in the best way possible. Everybody, when they got Black Flag, was like, this is what I wanted, a pirate game. This is what I wanted in a pirate game.
Yeah,
Like, Black Flag, it was good. It was good, but like after 10 hours, I got super bored with it, and everything that I was doing felt completely meaningless. I hope this game can give you that like sense of gratification, that sense of like, hey, everything I'm doing, you know, whether it might be incremental, but I feel that I am growing as a pirate. You know.
see, I didn't really see that. For me, it just seemed like it's fun and entertaining for a little bit, but I don't know how long I could keep coming back to it.
I think
I feel like Rare is kind of
with it. I think they're being quiet with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've seen gameplay of the actual game. Like,
So, yeah.
all we got last year was an announcement. So,
See, they're calling it a shared world adventure game where you and your friends can be pirates the way you want to be.
right.
So, whether that's what you said or what I said or neither, remains to be seen.
Yeah.
I think the biggest announcement, though, I'm pretty sure this is the last big announcement when it comes to exclusives, was the State of Decay 2 reveal. What do you think of it, Greg? Are you a State of Decay fan?
I never played State of Decay. I've seen it played. I think the way it dives into like systems and the way you have to like build your camp out, and you can have people, you know, growing things, and then you have to go out and scavenge for things and explore a little bit and then kind of come back. Like, I think that kind of base management system is cool and different for a zombie game, where you're not just going out and just killing zombie, and that's the whole game. I feel like the first game could have done better as far as like running better.
Or combat.
Yeah, and in the combat. So if this game improves on that, I think it would be more appealing to me. It didn't really do anything for me as far as the conference, like presentation, like the trailer and everything.
I think me and
I feel like I've seen zombie games enough, and honestly, if I'm going to pick between this and Dead Rising 4,
I
Rising 4.
think there's definitely a different.
It's a different game, but like they're both zombie games.
Yeah.
So
If you're trying to just get that zombie feel, Dead Rising. But if you're trying to get like a survival feel, you know, State of Decay probably has you.
Yeah, dude. Like I told Nathan, like when I was seeing State of Decay remastered, I was like, dude, this is so cool. This is what I want to do in Last of Us. Like, have my own little group, like settlement, like start helping these people out. And the way they were showing it in State of Decay 2, I was like, dude, this is even better than the mechanics I saw in State of Decay remastered, which was the reason I didn't get State of Decay remastered, because I was like, dude, the combat in this looks a little clunky. The way they're doing, like, the whole UI looks clunky. But then they showed this game, and I was like, I might give it a shot. Depends on how they lay it out later on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
No, yeah, dude. I mean, other than that, though, it looked way better than the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because it was such a smaller game back then, and now Xbox is probably just, hey, bigger studio. Here's a lot more money. Here's a lot more time.
Yeah.
Make the version you really wanted to.
Yeah.
That you probably didn't have, the money or the assets to make the first time around. So I'm excited for it because a lot of people, Greg Miller being one of them, was like, hey, this it's flawed, but it has potential. And I feel like this might be the time that potential is going to show. It's finally going to be instead of a good game, it might be a great game. So I liked it. The end of the conference, though, that was kind of like the last game announcement, but the last big announcement was kind of the thing that really I've been thinking about, and it's kind of it's making me question whether I like the Xbox Microsoft conference or the Sony conference, because both were great, but they're both playing in a different way, and you'll know in a second why. But they ended it with a full-on announcement for Project Scorpio, the rumored upgraded console that was, quote unquote 4 times more powerful as the original. Looks like it's true. It will be 4K compatible with everything. 4K gaming, 4K Blu-ray, 4K everything. And they announced it pretty early. I think the main reason they wanted to they probably didn't want to announce it this year, but with all the Neo speculations, they probably made this thing official, made a trailer, made that little trailer thing and said, hey, we're going to be the first ones to announce this. And I bet you $20 it's the main reason why we didn't see Neo at this conference.
Yeah, probably.
What do you guys think of it? I mean, that thing's more powerful than my, $1,000 PC.
No, yeah, I mean, based on the video they showed with all the developers being very excited about it, it's making me think that I'm probably going to convert and make it my main console when it comes out, instead of my PlayStation 4, which is currently my main console that I play all my third-party games on.
Yeah. I
play all my exclusives on. I just prefer it as my main console. Yeah. Whereas my Xbox, I just play for exclusives. I might be changing that over to this if it's going to be the most powerful console on the market.
By a long shot, too.
Yeah. And I feel like Phil Spencer's confidence in it, the way he talked about it and the way he presented it at the conference says a lot about how he wants the direction of Xbox to go with this console. Well,
and it's the most interesting thing in my aspect of dude, they didn't call it Xbox One, It's just called Project Scorpio. Right. I bet they'll change it, but dude,
they're kind of approaching it like a new console.
I think it's not even Xbox. I don't think we need to call it consoles anymore, though.
Yeah.
They're not console generations anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Scorpio is
hardware and machines.
Dude, I mean, think about it though. This is the announcement that is going to, I think, change games, or how we view console generations. It's not going to be a generation anymore. They're just going to stop supporting the Xbox One at some point, and everything's going to be like, hey, this game can't run on this, so they can't run on it. 10 years from now, kind of thing. But I'm excited because it's going to change how we view the generations. And I'm also excited because that is a whole lot of power. Mm-hmm. That's a whole lot of power. I feel like it's the first time in a long, ever, since we've been alive, that a console is really kind of one-upping everything.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the price. We don't know almost anything other than it's coming out holiday 2016. It's going to be 4K. But, I mean, dude, this might change how people view PC gaming and console gaming. Console gaming might not be the stupid brother that's three steps behind the PC anymore. Mm-hmm. So, depends on the price, though. I think that's the one thing, is they got to get that price right. I mean, that's going to be expensive.
Yep.
It's 4K. Xbox One can't even run things at 1080 60.
Right.
So this is a very big jump. What do you think of it, Luther? Since you don't have an Xbox, the only console you have right now that you're really jumping on is a PS4. And even though you can use your dad's PC, you don't really use it. What do you think? What do you think of this as like the future of consoles? Because both of you guys have always been. I like a console because it's pickup, it's easy to go. I can plug it in and play. Yep. Which yes, you're going to be getting with this, but this is also becoming just upgraded.
I know my games are going to run.
Yeah,
there's not going to be any issues there.
I mean, dude, what do I think about it? I think this is interesting, especially since by them announcing Scorpio, it sent Sony back to the drawing board with Neo.
Yeah.
So I want to see how all this stuff plays out. And also, I mean, not even also, like, really, mainly, this is my deciding factor on how they price it. Because if Scorpio comes out and it's at $600, dude, at that point, I might as well just build my own PC.
At 4K, though?
Dude, I mean, at 600,
dude, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be more than 600.
Yeah.
That thing's going to be like $800.
Dude, if it's at 800, that's what I'm saying. I might as well build my PC.
Oh, that's a steal, though. Because it would cost you to make a PC that's 4K
next year.
Next year, though? I mean, dude, even still. I bet you $20 Microsoft is going to build this knowing they're going to lose money on every one sold.
I mean, dude, we'll honestly see how it plays out, because if it's going at 800 and it's a 4K machine and you're telling me I can't build a PC that can do the same thing as doing cheaper, then I have no option.
But my question is, though, you have a machine that is better than your PS4 right now. Why aren't you using it then?
Because, I mean, it's just simpler for me to use my PC, and then I don't have to.
Your PS4?
I mean, no, yeah, I just have to use the PS4. I mean, it's simpler for me to use my PS4, and then also too, like, dude, you've seen how the PC's set up in my house. Like, I can't do that. I'm not that tall of a person, but still, that thing is like hunched over.
Yeah,
and then half the screen is like cut off.
But let's say set up bad. You can play it on your. You can easily just get a long HDMI cord, plug it in. But why do you stick with console as opposed to? Because that's what I'm saying. Like,
why do I stick with console?
Like, hey, Xbox, the Project Scorpio is $800. Let's say you can build a PC that's 4K ready at $800. Why would you? I still think you'd be skeptical because you have a machine that's 2-3 times more powerful than your PS4 sitting in there right now, and you're still not playing it.
True. I mean, dude, it all just comes back to, dude, I'm a lazy bum. Like, when I throw in my whatever game it is into my PS4, I know that at most I gotta wait 30 minutes, and that might be because of a day one patch. While with PC, I might start that game up, and it might be like, hey, guess what? These drivers you have are not compatible. Hey, guess what? You gotta run this update. Hey, guess what? Whatever, all these things you have installed aren't good to go. You're gonna have to install these other things.
See, but I'm gonna be honest. I've had a PC for a year and a half. Other than Fallout, because Fallout's made by Bethesda, and then the really, really bad Arkham Knight launch, it's not like that at all. Like, I think there's a stigma that PC gaming has. It's like that, but I mean, dude, like,
I feel like the only issues you're gonna see was with OS upgrades, right? Like, if you jump to Windows 10, there's driver compatibility issues there with that new operating system.
I mean, the thing is, I have over 100 games on my Steam library, and I don't have compatibility issues with almost any of them. Or any of them that I can think of. Mm-hmm. And I got games that you guys are sitting there hoping you have a remastered for.
Right.
And I'm playing it.
And you can play the old ones.
I can play it right now, kind of thing. Like,
right.
Like, I'm not putting it, but like, as I'm saying, like, that's what the Project Scorpio is trying to do. It's trying to give you what you like in a console, give you it at a good price, and it's competitive with what you have in probably what we'll have in PC gaming, you know, a year from now.
Yep.
So I just want to know how much it's priced, because unless something hasn't been announced yet, that thing, like, it would probably cost me over $2,000 right now to get a machine that runs 4K.
But I mean, dude, let's be honest though. The way it's running 4K,
well, it's native.
Dude, no, it's not gonna be native.
Yeah, it is.
The way they describe it is upscale.
No, they're saying you can upscale if you want to, but it's gonna be 4K
dude,
native.
Hey, we'll see.
Like if you're not using a 4K monitor or television, right?
Yeah.
That's how it'd be upscaling.
Because, dude, I really doubt it's native 4K. Dude, if it's gonna be priced between 600 800 native 4K.
This is how he put it. They're putting enough power into that game to almost you can play 4K native on anything, but if you're trying to get like the biggest, most powerhouse game, the developer can choose to bring it down at a lower resolution. It can upscale it if the developer chooses to, and use that extra power to give you better graphics. It's like Uncharted for, hey, it's not the sharpest game in the world, but it's definitely the prettiest because it doesn't need to be pixel to pixel like sharp because everything blends in like real life. That's how I viewed Uncharted and how it looked graphically. And I think that's what they said but it is 4K native. And that's the thing. I was like, how are they going to get this thing and it not being over $1,000? So
it's definitely exciting.
It is exciting. I'm very
I'm interested to see just how all these things play out.
Even if we don't get them, how is this going to play out in the market and all that type of stuff? But a couple things with Ubisoft's. I would say that Ubisoft's was as bad as EA's, if not worse.
Start with a dance number.
Yeah, it was.
We
got into the conference I think right when that ended, so I'm glad we didn't really see that. But there was two things we saw, and one of them we already saw and we knew a good deal about, which was Watch Dogs 2.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I care about.
No, there's another game you'll care about.
What is it?
You'll know. No, but Watch Dogs is. What do you think of Watch Dogs 2? Because I'm pretty sure are all in unison with most people that are on the internet.
Dude, it's
Watch Dogs 1.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, well, we've been speculating it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Greg? What did you think of what you saw of Watch Dogs 2?
I mean, Watch Dogs 1 never really appealed to me other than the initial reveal that they showed, just because they made that look so much better than it actually is. I don't know. Like, the way they showed the hacking and that seemed really different and really cool. And then the game came out and it was just, to me, another open world game. Like,
yep.
I'd rather play GTA than that, and then GTA I didn't even really care to play through. So for me, that wasn't really appealing. But what they're doing with Watch Dogs 2, I think, is cool in terms of how they're approaching the hacker culture and how they're making it more, for lack of a better term, like hip and kind of appealing.
Have a personality.
Yeah, like appealing to a more fun side of it instead of being so serious and
lone wolf.
Yeah,
revenge
but at
story.
the same time making kind of a little bit of a political statement with what they're doing.
Yep.
But I think the characters that they've shown so far, they've shown like your main character Marcus, right?
Yeah, Marcus.
And then they've
Holloway,
shown
which is a DedSec member. If people who don't know what we're talking about,
right? And
which is the hacker group
that's basically existing to bring truth to people and kind of expose where there's corruption in certain areas in politics and government and
everything, really.
And basically companies that are like Apple or things like that.
That could potentially be screwing people over.
Yeah, taking advantage of consumerism and things like that. But I think the supporting characters look interesting.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I feel like the issue for me is going to be in gameplay, if it keeps me interested throughout the entire game.
I mean, like,
what they've shown so far looks pretty cool.
It has a lot of variety from what they've shown so far. I don't think they're going to show much more when it like gadgets, but from what they've shown already, I mean,
I think it has style. I think that above all things, it's definitely focusing on style and making it a fun experience, because of the fact like you can go into a sneaky mission where you just play music through your headphones of whatever you want and just kind of set a mood for it. Mm-hmm. And then kind of the graphic style that they're going with a lot of the graffiti in the app of DedSec. And I don't know. I think the art they're approaching in more of a fun, hip, like artsy style.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like hey, we realize that Assassin's Creed 1 is super repetitive, so we're not going to do that with 2.
Right.
This time around, they're like, hey, Watch Dogs was a bland, boring Chicago. Let's make...
Yeah.
I mean, you got San Francisco and the surrounding areas like Oakland. I mean, dude, there's a lot of technology there and all that type of stuff, so it's kind of like the hub for all the big stuff, so it's kind of like a dead giveaway that they would do something cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing, the takeaway, other than the art style, is I do actually think the gameplay looked good.
Yeah.
It felt seamless. It felt...
I think the parkour looks good. I think it's definitely
that's
like
what Louther all,
it's the Assassin's Creed
repeating.
Platforming that we like. Like when you climb a building, it works well. When you jump over objects, it works well.
It looks cool. But the other game that I was gonna say, which is you're much more excited about than you should be, Louther, than Watch Dogs, is South Park, dude.
Oh yeah,
the fractured butthole.
Dude, everybody's excited about that.
No, yeah, I mean I'm excited about it, but I already knew it was coming.
But yeah, we got a release date though. It's December 6th. This
Crazy.
year.
Hey, dude,
Until it gets delayed till next year.
I can't wait.
Matt and Trey just can't pull it together.
I mean, like, let me put it this way: I wouldn't be shocked, but I do think it might. I think it will come out that day, solely because it's not going through dev hell like it did when THQ liquidated.
I think they got a formula now. They know
Well,
what
also,
kind of
I think they
game
said they
they're
got 2
making.
studios working on it.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Dang.
so they've got a good bit of people working on this.
Yeah.
And then it looks like it's running on the same engine too.
Yeah, so they didn't have to worry about all that.
Right.
So this time around, instead of a fantasy realm, it looks like they're making fun of Marvel's Civil War
With the Coon friends.
with the Coon friends. So you're a superhero
It's my
now.
favorite.
The combat system looks really cool. There's there's actual tiles that you can walk on now. So where you're standing and where you are in each combat scenario does matter, and you can use it to your advantage. And it just looks. It seems just as funny.
It just looks great. Like it's written just like South Park episode. It's animated and graphically just like a South Park episode.
Dude, I honestly think like why the past couple seasons of South Park have been mediocre is solely because they've been putting
it all in this.
They put all the good shit in this game and the Stick of Truth, and they're like, the TV show's whatever. Let's make the game the best thing in the world. Because like it's just like every single second is funny. That's how Stick of Truth was. It was like 12 hours of just funny, like laughing, great combat.
Yeah, I think the RPG elements that they're adapting for the game work really well.
Oh, they
like
work
as an RPG, the Stick of Truth is a great game.
Yep.
And I think this will be no different.
Yep.
With what they're adding and
it's easy to jump into too, and I think that's a nice thing to. If you're an RPG fan, it's like, hey, I want an RPG, but I don't want to think that much.
Right.
I can play Stick of Truth, and I can also laugh my ass off. So, and also, if you haven't played it, Stick of Truth, you can actually pre-order. You can actually pre-order the Fractured Butthole now and get the Stick of Truth on PS4, Xbox One.
Yep. I'm tempted to do that because I actually never played through all of Stick of Truth.
You didn't?
I've seen it. I've seen it played. I've played a little bit, but I've never played the whole thing.
It's definitely worth it.
One of the few games I beat on PC.
Yep.
I
got
really
it on
wanna
PC for
play
like
through it.
$10.
I got it. Yeah, same. Around that or 5.
I mean, it's a South Park game, and even though people were saying it was really good, I was still skeptical. But after playing that, I will probably get this new one for the $60.
Oh, for sure, dude.
So
that's what they deserve.
Yep. So that was basically. Other than that, a couple other things.
Eagle Flight.
Didn't give a shit.
Ghost Recon was
Ghost
totally
Recon-
scripted.
Stop.
It was scripted.
Stop
Bunch of-
talking. Start the live orchestra. I'm ready for
Let's
the
just
real
get to it. Let's just
show.
get into it.
So let's get into it. It is the best.
Steep.
conference. I don't even want to. Oh yeah, steep.
Fucking GoPro the game.
So we were watching. We
Outta
watched the Ubisoft
Sponsor.
Yeah. So we were watching it with my friend Jake, and we were laughing because that whole conference sucked, and it was 2 hours
So long.
Dude, I'm so glad we watched
Dude, I
it.
was like, this is easily the worst conference, and you're like, no, EA, and I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Just keep watching this shit because it's just gonna get worse.
Yeah, at least EA's was like, we know when we're gonna stop
quick to the
talking.
point. Like, I mean, sure, they showed dev diaries, but at least it was over.
But it was done. It was hey, here it is. Let's talk about it. And I love how
book ended by a great game and ended with a great game.
yeah, which they didn't have at Ubisoft.
No.
But no, so the Steep game came up, and it's that open
SSX ripoff.
like you live in this world kind of thing with other people. A shared world SSX, but not cool.
Don't cross your skis. You're gonna have a bad time.
Dude, what a shitty ass game. And like our friend, we were watching it, like I said, with my friend Jake. He's like, that doesn't look that bad. And I'm just thinking in my head, I was like, how the fuck is anybody looking at this game and going, that's awesome?
I feel like they're just taking advantage of the engine that they're already using with Ghost Recon, like that creates these really detailed worlds, like massive worlds, and they're just like, oh yeah, we can just do this for a sports
Let's make
game.
a PlayStation Life version with this engine.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know, fucking shit. But hey, let's get to the good stuff.
There we go.
Let's get to the good conference.
Someone start off the live orchestra, please.
So yeah, well, you tell me about that, Louther. Tell me how they started the Sony.
So the lights are dimmed, right? We're in a theater.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm
That red curtain.
and I'm just sitting here, and I see this.
Dun, dun, dun,
I see
dun,
this
dun,
dude.
dun,
Hold on.
dun,
I
dun.
also thought that was Andrew House in
Dude,
disguise.
same thing. I thought it was Andy House. And
Like, did he grow his hair out like since the last time we saw him and like put on a fake beard? And that dude had that smirk on his face. I was like, who the fuck is this? But keep going.
yeah, dude, he goes in front of like this whole group of people, and you're just like, what's going on right now?
Are we starting?
And then he takes a bow, like a live orchestra should. And
A
then they just-
conductor.
Like a conductor would.
like. But I mean, dude, all of them just like they all got ready.
Mm-hmm.
The lights went dim, like Greg said, and the music just starts playing. And I looked over at Nathan. I was like, dude, this literally sounds like I'm in a Viking boat right now,
like,
rolling with all my
Choral group starts up. Oh,
yeah. And I was like, this is God of War. This is God of War right here. And what was it?
God of
fucking War.
All right, dude. So this fucking game. So, Louther, you're a big fan of God of War. Greg, are you a fan of God of War?
Absolutely not.
I am not a fan of God of War either. I think they're decent games. I think the combat's fun. I think Kratos is boring, and I'm not a big Roman mythology fan. The biggest beef with that is it's Roman mythology. A lot of rumors were God of War 3 was going to be Egyptian mythology. And then my heart got shattered yet again when I heard that this one was supposed to. It was the whole team was split half and half. Half of them wanted to do what was it? Norse.
Nordic.
Yeah, Norse or Nordic.
Yeah, style or Egyptian themed. And you know me, I want Egyptian. But what they showed, I'm fine with it not being Egyptian because total tonal change for this game.
Dude, I love how everybody's going, I don't know if this is a Nordic game. When the troll literally yelled,
It's very
for
Norse.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what's going on?
They mentioned Valhalla. There's clearly inscriptions like on archways that look very Norse. Like it's Norse mythology.
So
Like, that's
I
what
am
it is.
pretty sure though. So
He has a
if you're
giant
listening to
axe
this right
that's
now,
clearly very Viking.
That's
if
what I'm saying.
if you're listening to this right now, pause it and just watch this reveal. Cause fuck,
Live gameplay. They
Live
had a
gameplay.
developer
It
out
was
there
on
playing
it,
the
yeah.
game.
playing the live demo, like we said.
Dude, but
With a live orchestra behind him.
But I'm pretty sure I read an interview, and I'm not entirely sure because I need to go find exactly where that source was because it was quoted in a thread that I was reading. But I'm pretty sure this isn't a reboot, and that's the same Kratos.
dude,
It's hard for me to tell because he has a
New
child.
voice actor too.
Yeah, he has a child.
Yeah,
It's clearly his son because they mentioned
they
that.
mentioned it multiple times.
yeah.
So it's a little kid, 10 years old, 11 years old, maybe.
Right, so this could be, I guess, his life after the other games, or it could be his family
dude, has it
before.
been
I don't know.
confirmed by Santa Monica that it's a new voice actor?
I think so.
Because I was looking. I mean,
Sounds very close.
no, that's what
to
I'm
me.
saying. I've been
Yeah.
listening to Kratos' voice from the past, and honestly, if the old Kratos voice actor, if he wanted to, he could literally just throw his voice this same way. And when I was looking on,
He's just less angry.
yeah,
He's not yelling as
I'm
much.
not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure I read something that said it was a new actor.
Oh, okay. And hey,
Calliope!
talking about Greg talking about Kratos being more like Kratos being angry. Did you guys see the Easter egg where it was like he was yelling at his son and you saw his rage meter build up?
Yeah.
And then he calmed down. And
I saw that mentioned later.
Yeah. I thought it was real. It was a nice touch.
That's cool.
Yeah, so this time around, though, instead of fixed camera angles, it's a regular third person, like Last of Us.
Over the shoulder, kinda.
Over the shoulder.
And the same way Witcher was shown. Dude, if Witcher was shown in this camera angle, dude, honestly, I wouldn't want to play any other game ever.
Dude, just buy it and find a mod. There's probably a mod.
Probably.
But I mean, I feel like it would fuck up the game.
There's some pretty good mods. If you look at Skyrim, there's some pretty good mods. But I don't know how the mod community is for Witcher.
Yeah.
No, that game, it was 9 minutes. I honestly don't think this game's coming out until 2018.
Dude,
long ways away.
What's crazy is when you first said that, completely agree with you. But then I took the sundial, I dialed it back to when they first showed off God of War 3.
Mm-hmm.
And when they first showed off God of War 3, before they had showed off anything else, because God of War 3 was only showed off once, and then they released the game.
I don't think so.
I mean, to be fair, this game is a lot more technically advanced.
Same thing I thought. But me, as a God of War fan, I rewatched trailers a couple times because a lot of people were like, dude, like you and Nathan are, where you're like, dude, didn't give a fuck about the other God of War games. I like this game because it's different. I've rewatched the trailers a couple times, and I'm like, dude, this is different, but it's the same different as Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is. Where it's like, you watch the trailer at first, and you're like, dude, this is a completely different game. This doesn't look like anything like, this doesn't look like any other Call of Duty game I've seen before. But as me, as a fan, as I keep watching it before, I see Kratos dodge roll. I see him attack, and I'm like, dude,
they said the combat's still...
No. Like, dude, everything. Like, even everybody's like, no, this is like slower. This is like Dark Souls. If you watch that trailer again, you will see at moments he's doing fast attacks and heavy attacks. If the game is I wouldn't say the same speed as God of War 3 because that'd be pushing it. But the game is definitely not slow or anything anymore. It is, dude. It's still God of War. Like, honestly, if you rewatch that trailer as much as I have, which is about 5 times.
I watched it again today. I don't think it's as fast as you're saying it is.
No. It's
I really don't, because
given the chain blades, it might be.
No, yeah, it's not as fast as the chain blades. Don't get me wrong, but with an axe and the way he's swinging it, and then when you look at a game like Dark Souls, and when you see somebody else like that swinging an axe, you see the difference, and you're like, this is God of War.
You know the main difference though? They never showed him fighting multiple people at once, and that's what I want to see.
That's a lie. They showed him fighting 2 people at once. He pinned somebody with the axe, and then he fought the other dude immediately with his fist. And if it was like Dark Souls, he would have threw the axe, would have had like 5 seconds of recovery.
Well, I'm not saying it's Dark Souls, but I'm saying like, dude, I can rummage through 8 people at once in God of War 3. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not as fast. It's not as fast at all.
Dude, I'm telling you, this game is gonna come out, and when the game comes out, you're gonna be like, this plays totally different than that first E3 demo I watched.
Yeah. I feel like this is the intro of the game.
Yeah, well, they said this is a more... it's not as action-packed as everything else.
Yep.
And you want to know why I think you're wrong on the release date?
You're wrong.
Why?
It's because they said the earliest this game is coming out in an interview is late 2017. They said earliest. They said they're expecting 2018.
Delayed.
Hey, dude, we'll see. I'm just going off of the past.
I'm going off of what Santa Monica said, which is they said it was either going to be late 2017, maybe, and they're like, it's most likely going to be 2018.
Hey, everybody who's listening to this, do me a favor. Go back to when they first showed off God of War 3 and how good it looked. Then look at them right before they showed off God of War 3, right before it released.
But they also
looked the same.
They also didn't have a game drop. They also didn't have a game canceled, and then this has to be shown.
Hey, dude, we don't know because it was PS3. And when it comes to PS3, there's so many secrets we don't know because of Cell.
Maybe.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's so many projects that came and went with PS3. Dude, look at Last Guardian. Last Guardian honestly would have came and went if it wasn't for the fact that they had made Eco in Shadow of the Colossus. If it wasn't for their pedigree, hell yeah, Sony would have been like, dude, fuck you guys. No, we're not letting you guys make this game.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying. I read. I looked at the interview and it said one of the guys was like, "Yeah, this isn't coming out this year, and it's probably not coming out next year either."
Regardless, it has my interest, and I've never been interested in a God of War game before. So.
I just like that it's not rage induced like the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more of
still has
a
a Spartan rage meter.
He still has this note, but I'm saying, like,
but they're clearly trying to flesh out the character and build
also,
like some
you
kind of
also
backstory
care about
for him.
him
Yeah,
now.
right.
Dude, I always cared about Kratos. And by
Only
always,
because he's a badass kind of thing.
yeah, that's why I cared about
No,
him.
but this
Fucking
time around, I'm
bitches killing gods.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, but there's a time when they're hunting the deer at the end, and the kid has a knife to the neck, and it's like, I can't do it. And Kratos takes his hand, holds his hand together, and just pushes that knife into its neck.
And you know what he tells him after that? He goes,
"You're ready."
Don't be a pussy.
that's what I'm saying.
What did
We're
he say
ready.
at the end?
I'm just messing.
I think it looks amazing.
Oh, dude, it looks awesome.
I think it looks fucking amazing. And
Definitely a killer way to start a show.
Oh,
Yep,
the
for
best
sure.
intro I've seen to a
With the
conference,
orchestra.
I would honestly say ever.
And you
So
know-
classy with that orchestra.
Oh yeah.
And you know what, too, before we go on to the next title? Just a nice little touch I like to see. And a lot of people didn't catch it. A lot of people on the internet is talking about that. It's, like IGN was saying that it looks like it's ice versus fire, with Kratos having ice weapons and most of the enemies having fire weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing I liked. Was the magic aspect of it.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
But what I caught, and honestly, if they don't even talk about it in God of War, in the new God of War, and they don't even hint at it, that is totally fine by me. But at the end of God of War 3, spoiler alerts for anybody who hasn't played it, and and honestly, dude, there's not story or anything like that. So if you want to keep listening, go ahead. But at the end of God of War 3, Kratos technically kills himself. And by killing himself, he releases what the game likes to call hope into the world, so that people don't have to rely on gods anymore, and they can just rely on themselves. And when he releases this hope, it's a blue, shining, magical aura all over the world. And when you see Kratos and his son kill the deer, there's blue in the antlers. When you see Kratos throw his axe, there's blue. Hey, just want to say,
Maybe he's changed the world.
just want to say,
Maybe these aren't Nordic, but they are like Roman things
changed
that have
with
been
that
changed.
blue
And they look
Pandora's box
Nordic.
aura. Yep.
That would be dope. That would make sense too.
Yep. Hey, just
And
want to throw that out before we go.
And he probably
on.
didn't die. He's dropped down, and now he's like, mortal.
And that's another thing that I liked, is that Kratos has more clothes. So honestly, if this is the same Kratos, we can't know. Hopefully, if they do take off just his chest piece and we can see the scar that is left from him stabbing himself, we can see if this is the same Kratos. But if not, like I told Nathan,
I'm down either way.
Yeah.
I hope it's a reboot, but I don't care.
Oh, dude, it honestly doesn't... Like, dude, they can honestly do a Witcher thing where it's a reboot, and in the sense, it's only a reboot because Kratos doesn't remember anything of his past.
Yeah, maybe. He comes back and he doesn't know anything that
Yep.
happened.
Or it could be like a Legend of Zelda, where there's multiple Kratoses in multiple timelines.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so let's get down to some other games. They showed a little bit of VR and two cool titles. Batman Arkham VR, they announced. They didn't show much of it, but everybody who's played it, kind of funny,
talking
IG and
about it,
GameSpot,
yeah.
it's on everybody's game of the show list right now.
Yep.
So I'm intrigued in it. Supposedly, there's two levels. One of you putting the suit on as Bruce, becoming Batman, and then a detective scene using all the detective abilities that you know from all the Arkham games.
Mhm.
So very intrigued in that.
Definitely a cool trailer too.
Yeah,
Mark
and
Hamill just as the Joker. You're done.
It definitely
Like,
pulls you because you're like, wait, what?
you're right.
Mark Hamill's back? Also, the next one, and I called it. Also, look, can I just say this? Every time I shouted out like what I thought this was before, like, before they showed the actual title for the game, I was pretty much right for. And I knew it was a Resident Evil game, and it looked like PT, and I was like, nah, dude, this is Resident Evil. This is Resident Evil. So it's supposedly, or no, not supposedly, the new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 7. It's coming out
Biohazard.
January 24th, 2017. I believe that's the date.
Dude, I like how it's in first person.
Yes, it's first person. It's also you can fully play it on your TV with a controller or fully in VR.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like both work because they also were like, hey, on PlayStation Network right now, you can play a demo right now. So I played the demo. That game is fucking scary as shit.
I need to
Very
play it.
big PT vibes. It's not as weird as PT in the sense of I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, you figure out what you can do. But let me say, this is the first time I've ever been excited for a Resident Evil game. What do you guys think of the trailer?
I think it's definitely focusing more on disturbing aspect of it.
Survival.
Where Resident Evil 1, I think the most like famous scene from that game is when you first happen upon a zombie and the head turns slowly and looks at you, and just how disturbing that scene is when you see that face for the first time.
Yeah.
I think they're going with that more atmospheric kind of feel of being in like this really creepy, disturbing place and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. More
and
realistic.
definitely taking a lot of influence from PT, because just the first person aspect of it, the environment is very similar to that environment.
Yep.
Of where it's familiar, but it's also extremely distressed and torn apart and gross looking, and there's roaches, and you open a pot and there's like nastiness in there. And
it's like that in the game.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm excited for it.
I can't tell yet if zombies are even in the game or not. Like, if it's going to take more of a supernatural aspect or not. But
I don't know about supernatural, but from the demo, there are zombie-esque creatures. So it still is Resident Evil. And there are little Easter eggs, of course, just like how PT had Easter eggs. So I'm excited for it. But they didn't really talk much. They showed a few other things for VR, but those are the two kind of bigger titles.
Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars experience, all that type of stuff. It looked pretty cool. They showed more Horizon.
Whew.
What do you guys think of that?
This game.
So they showed full gameplay, like, what was it, 5-6 minutes of it?
I just want this game right now.
So, what, we got announced there's crafting, there's a semi-open world, at least.
Oh, huge open world. Did you see them, like, zoom out on the map?
They didn't. It wasn't huge.
Oh,
I
it
think
looked massive to me.
I mean, I hope it's. I think it is confirmed. It's straight up just open world.
Mm-hmm. Is it bad that the only new thing from Horizon that I heard that literally piqued my interest was when I found out that the voice actor was Ashley Birch, Tiny Tina from Borderlands 2.
I mean, I think it's cool.
She sounds great in the game. Personally, I think her voice is awesome.
I think there's a dialogue wheel now, so it's definitely showing you. It definitely showed its RPG elements in this. More than anything else they've shown for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm just...
Dialogue options.
When
you interact with NPCs.
Honestly, like, yeah, same thing Greg's saying. Like, after seeing this trailer, dude, I just want the game.
I just want the game.
Yep. And that's coming out February 28th.
This is honestly, like, to be honest with you guys, this will probably be the last trailer I see of Horizon. I'll just wait
before you try to go.
Yeah.
Good luck when we're watching PlayStation Experience.
Watch more of it.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
you can't turn away.
I'll watch PSX, but I guarantee you PSX is probably going to show us this almost the exact same thing we just saw at E3.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. They probably don't want to show too much of that game.
Yeah.
That
already looks better than any Killzone game. Period.
Oh, for real? It definitely piques my interest more than any Guerrilla game.
Just the way they make the creatures organic and mechanic at the same time, and just that art design.
Yep. And then quick, we don't want to talk about it much because I'm tired of talking about it. Last Guardian release date. October 25th.
I just want to play it.
I want to play it. I don't know. I'm gonna wait.
2 bird dogs confirmed.
Yep. I'm just
not about it.
Just give me the
not
game.
Not that I'm not about it. It's just I'm so tired of hearing about it that I just wanted to come out and see what people think of it.
Yeah.
They showed, like you said,
at least we got a release date.
Yep. I know. Finally. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was shown. Looked a lot better than I anticipated.
Look cool. It looks like Battlestar Galactica, honestly.
Yeah. Dude, that first 2 minutes, I didn't even know it was a Call of Duty game.
I called it, but I was still skeptical.
Oh, I mean, I knew from the get-go it was Call of Duty, but
they're like Reyes.
Yeah.
Like, that's
exactly.
What a fucking Call of Duty name they use.
No. I mean, honestly, when you're watching it, you can tell it's a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
But the way they started it,
I mean, it's a
weird thing
sci-fi
is-
game
the
now.
weird
It's
thing is-
it's fully sci-fi. So
Yeah, it looks cool. The weird thing is that's kind of like what you said. It didn't feel like it. Then I rewatched it, and then I was like, yeah, it's Call of Duty.
it's definitely Call of Duty.
I think that's just the stigma that I already know it's Call of Duty now.
Yeah.
So
But my fear of the game, I think, is that there are no like full space battles. I'm pretty sure based on what I saw, it looks like you're on rails and you can slightly move your ship around and shoot stuff, but it's basically like any arcade game, like Star Wars Battle Pods or whatever, where you don't really control anything other than throttle. And
Still more space battles than Destiny. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, Greg, you're telling me you have a problem with a Time Crisis? My favorite game of all
no,
time.
I don't. But that's an arcade game. So
I like Time Crisis 4.
I don't know. Like I just want
3 was good, but it was alright.
I just want to
Time
control my
Crisis 4?
ship, man. I just want
Legendary.
to fly around.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Let's see. I think I got this one big one, and I can't really think of.
Definitely
anything
look better
else.
than the trailer.
Oh yeah.
For show.
Also,
Seeing the game in action.
we got 2 more games.
Hit me with them.
Sony
What you
Bend.
got?
We finally know what they're doing.
Whoa, don't you want to talk about this last?
No,
Okay, go ahead.
I definitely want to keep it on.
No, right now.
I'm interested in this game, but the next one I'm so much more interested in. Yeah, so new game is Days Gone, and I'm just gonna read this off the website for Sony. Days Gone is an open-world action game set 2 years after a mysterious global pandemic has decimated the world. It looks cool. We got the Star Wars Force Unleashed actor as the main character, so we're seeing him again in video games.
Oh, really?
Because I
Yeah.
liked him.
I didn't even notice that was him.
Oh, I noticed.
What's his
the
name?
Second I saw it. I
What's
can't
his
remember.
name? Ah,
He was in Smallville. He was the one that kills he was at the end of Doomsday. He was Doomsday. That's what his name was. He was Doomsday in Smallville. But let me just say one thing, and then you guys can say your spiel. It's too much Last of Us feel to me.
it's very, 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 very much The Last of Us.
Yep. So let Luther
I'll let Luther go for a second.
with his
Hey,
little
dude.
theory, and it's kind of like my theory too, but I didn't want to like speak of it, talk about it too much.
Hey, all I'm saying is, while you're playing The Last of Us, there's a time when Joel and Ellie happen across a bike, and Joel gives Ellie a little short story of how him and Tommy, back in the day before everything went to shit, they rode bikes for a little bit. And when you come across Tommy's town in Last of Us, he references it a little bit. And then also, when you first start Last of Us, and Joel mentions Tommy, he says, hey, I'm not that close to Tommy after he joined the Fireflies, and he doesn't know anything really about what Tommy's up to after he left the Fireflies. So I'm saying, honestly,
But when did he?
Sony
But my question is, when did he leave the Fireflies? Though, do we know,
when did he leave the
or
Fireflies?
do we know when he joined them too? Because, like I said, this is
No,
2
we don't.
years.
No, yeah.
This is very early on.
No, see, this is what I'm saying though. If Sony Bend is doing what I think they're doing, but at the same time, honestly, dude, they've messed around with other people's IPs for a while now.
I wouldn't be shocked. I was
yeah.
waiting for some Last of Us reference at the end of the reveal.
No, yeah, dude. Like, if this is its
that
own
something they do?
game, that's fine.
Huh?
Is that something they do? Like mess with other IPs? Like other
that's what they did.
Ben did Golden Abyss.
I know they did a Golden Abyss, but
And
like
then it was also, they even said it too, that if Vita had done better,
They were gonna
gonna
do a
do
Last of Us?
follow up. No, they were doing a follow up to Golden Abyss, but numbers weren't looking right, so they decided to go ahead and do whatever they were doing with PS4.
interesting.
So
yeah,
what I'm-
I mean, it just looks good, but it just Last of Us is better.
I don't
No,
know.
hey, dude,
When I saw the trailer, like I was like, all right, biker gang, don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Another post-apocalyptic game. All
wouldn't say-
right,
I
I
wouldn't
think
say
we've
I
seen
don't
that
wish, yeah.
before. Another like zombie post-apocalyptic game. Okay, I think
it's-
I'm good. I
if
don't
it's
really
tied
need
to
this.
Last of Us, okay. If it's a whole new pandemic, I don't think I have enough to give a shit about it. Then.
Yeah,
dude, I'm
it's
telling
just
you-
not enough
But I
that's
do
different
think
for
I
me.
really do think Sony wouldn't make this mistake and have 2 zombie apocalyptic games, and especially Bend, who's kind of been the shadow of Naughty Dog right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they have a lot to prove. Not a lot to prove, but they've shown that they have potential. It would be weird that it wasn't. Maybe this dude's the dude that was part of that gang that Joel's brother ends up. Maybe Joel's brother starts at the end of the game or some part in the game. He joins it right then and there. He leaves the Fireflies.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that'd be crazy.
It could honestly be like at the end of the game, your character is hanging up like his little biker gang outfit, and out of nowhere, some guy goes, "Hey, I heard you're doing this and this and this. My name's Tommy." Credits.
Boom.
Hey, that's all I'm saying.
I hope they don't end it that way. That'd be a big fuck you. I hope it's like a halfway point shock, and it totally changes how like the second half of the game is.
Hey, dude,
that'd be doper.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and then they ended the actual show with that. They showed it more towards the beginning, and then they showed a gameplay reveal at the end. It looked pretty good.
I think the gameplay looks pretty good.
It looks alright.
The coolest thing about it is that the horde of zombies or creatures are infected or whatever this is supposed to be.
Hordes.
Yeah, it's such a large amount that it reminds me of World War Z, and that like it's almost like a wave of them.
It would
instead of just individually fighting.
It does
like
make
a zombie
sense
here,
too,
a zombie here. It's like you
is-
have to deal with this massive wave coming at you.
Yeah, it does make sense because it's like this is 2 years after the pandemic, and there's probably there's so much zombies at that point.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we play Last of Us, there's not that many zombies.
And they're all like fully like all fungused out. And then also too, another reason why, I mean, like honestly, dude, if this comes out to be a new IP and it has nothing to do with Last of Us, I'm totally fine with that.
Nah,
but just the way they were talking about it, because I was watching an interview that PlayStation's YouTube channel did with the developers of this game, and same thing Naughty Dog did. As soon as when Last of Us first was coming out and they were doing interviews, every time somebody was like, "Oh yeah, this is a zombie game," they're like, No. These aren't zombies. Mm-hmm. These are infected. Every time somebody in this interview said, "Hey, these are zombies," the guy was like, No. These are called like freaks. These are called like freakers. I was like, it's a little weird, man. It's a little weird. Why are you guys talking like
Seeing some similarities.
Yeah. And then also too, like, another reason I'm kind of interested in this game is solely because of the dude Nathan Haller over here, always talking about how much he's digging what is it called? Mad Max?
Mad Max?
Yeah, Mad Max.
What? Max? What?
Dude, I was about to say Max Fury for some weird reason.
Oh, That's Mad weird. Max Fury Road?
Yeah. But how they talk about the way your character treats his bike literally sounds like Mad Max. It's like the whole game.
Oh, you got like chum bucket with your car.
Oh, dude, they honestly say like that bike is with you throughout the whole game, and like every time you come across like something that you can't traverse, upgrade your bike and get back to it. That sounds
cool. I mean, like it does sound cool.
And then honestly, too, dude, I like a bike better than a car, but that's just me. Hey, that's just me. But go ahead, Nathan. Next game.
The last game. This wasn't the last real, but it was the second to last. I think it was the actual last game we hadn't heard about.
And then they went back to
Days Gone.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people thought Sucker Punch was going to be at this conference.
Nah.
And it was a Spider-Man game.
Got a better developer than Sucker Punch.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's the ultimate developer.
Insomniac is making a PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game.
This could not be any more perfect.
How'd you guys like that Spider-Man 2 throwback in the coffee shop?
Oh yeah,
when he's jumping through the window.
Oh yeah,
and he busts through that window and zips through there.
I am super stoked for that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It also makes me much more happier because it's exactly what I said. I said I don't want Sucker Punch to do another superhero game. I want another developer doing it so we can see what other things Sucker Punch has. Yep. Hey, so both dreams are coming true. We still get a Spider-Man game. It's Insomniac instead of Sucker Punch, and we still don't know what Sucker Punch is doing. So I'm excited for that. But fuck, dude, the style looks good.
Looks great.
It's not taking itself seriously. It doesn't. My biggest beef was I feel like whatever Marvel game they're really gonna try to push, it looks like this is gonna be the big Marvel game since Disney's acquired Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
That they were going to try to make it too much like Batman. And this it's very lighthearted. I mean, it has to be. It's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, my biggest beef with the game is
It's not out yet.
no, it's not out yet. But at the same time, this isn't the same voice actor from the Marvel movie, right?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't want it to be. I want it to be their own thing.
It's a different Spider-Man.
Dude, I want MCU everywhere. I want MCU tatted on my chest.
I don't know. Let's go to
MCU
the
for life
parlor tomorrow, and you get MCU tatted on your chest.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to
In Comic
take
Sans.
a hiatus from the podcast for a little bit till Nathan forgets about me saying this.
Yeah, you fucker.
But no, I think this looks awesome. This looks like the Arkham version of Spider-Man, where it's like a AAA Spider-Man
That's what
game.
I'm
Like
saying,
this
like,
already
I
looks
didn't
leaps
take the
and
dark
bounds above
Everything
every
else
like
that's Marvel.
movie-based game we've seen,
Mhm.
every Beanox game we've seen for Spider-Man.
Or just licensed fuckery.
Yeah.
What
And I
happened
think
to
above
Beanox?
all, like we got Insomniac's pedigree, which in my opinion, they're just one of the best developers in gaming. Period.
Especially after the last Ratchet.
Especially
It's like
after
literally the bar of
every single Ratchet and Clank, I mean, minus the like offshoot ones, and then Sunset Overdrive, just with the fact
Sunset
like
was
how
awesome.
they handled traversal in
I
that
was about
game
to say, dude.
and made it
yes.
super fun, just getting around the environment. You already know they're going to adapt that into Spider-Man
Into
and
another
his
open
moves,
world, which
and
is
it's just going to be great.
Awesome.
Dude, and honestly too, for an early gameplay demo, when they showed him swinging on his webs, they definitely had like that sense of speed down perfectly.
Mhm.
It looked like Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But like upgraded, you know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's finally like 2016 version of it, so I'm happy. But yeah, quick thing before we go. The last question of the podcast. What was your favorite conference and why? Luther, I already know your answer.
What you
Hey,
got?
dude, I'm a PlayStation fanboy till I die. Hey, dude, like I told you guys, like while we were talking about it the week before, everybody's like, dude, I don't know if there's gonna be any surprises.
There was.
Dude, Sony always has something up their sleeve other than last year. Last year's was
I mean, you had Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Nah, don't care.
I do.
dude.
Because it's a completely different game.
Shenmue 3, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. Dude, as soon as I saw that live orchestra, I was like, hey, just drop the mic now. No one come on stage.
Don't even show it.
Same.
So, before we go, can we applaud that they were, because we've talked about it outside of the podcast, almost no dev time at all.
No.
No.
Also, I totally forgot one thing.
What's up?
What's that?
Hideo Kojima.
Oh, yeah.
Kojima.
Oh, hey,
What
Okay.
the fuck did I
The
forget?
coolest music video I've ever seen, with Norman Reedus holding a baby fetus over his shoulder and
Norman
crying.
Fetus with his baby fetus.
Norman
hey,
Fetus.
all that's missing from that whole announcement was and featuring Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, there's no Guillermo.
I don't know.
Guillermo gets screwed on everything.
Yeah.
Poor dude.
Dude, I still say by the time this game comes out, Guillermo's
They'll find a way to attach him to it.
Guillermo's some way in this game.
He directed a level.
It's gonna be like Metal Gear where it says
Yeah.
created by Guillermo del Toro.
They crossed it out and it says Hideo Kojima. No, his new game's Death Stranding. It was in quote unquote in game because the thing's so
His
fucking
other
early
game.
on. It's called Death Stranding.
I mean, dude, it looked like it was in engine. Does
I
it
mean,
look like
yeah.
it was gameplay? No.
No, there's no gameplay. There's no gameplay mechanics. There's probably a loose story.
It's literally just a music video he shot, and then there's a
Literally
title.
Music
Yeah.
video, and he said, "Hey, Norman Reedus, all this in Japanese. So imagine how weird this was getting translated. Hey, I need you to get naked real quick, and then pretend you're holding an invisible."
You think he did that mocap naked, like entirely butt naked?
I was about to say.
I bet you he did.
Dude, I guarantee.
They just put tiny dots all over his naked body. He's like, "This is video games. I'm about it."
So did you see that Norman Reedus tweeted a picture of it was Hideo Kojima holding a coffee mug, and he was sipping into it, and someone photoshopped Konami tears, and he posted that on his Instagram right after the announcement.
That's hilarious.
Nah, dude, I didn't see anything like that.
It was awesome. But yeah, really cool trailer. Go check it out. I showed it to my dad. He's like, "That's cool. Like that's interesting."
It's definitely intriguing because we have no idea what the fuck it is.
Also, one more other game. I can't find a website that has like every single thing. It was Detroit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Looks
Looks
like,
really cool.
yeah, different character, new character. It's an android. very Blade
I think it's
Runner-esque.
only one character of the game, honestly, but
Maybe.
I think Kara is definitely going to be a main character of the game.
Yeah.
The other female android.
Yeah, so yeah, you're playing as an android detective. Looks very Blade Runner-esque. Not going to say much more. You can choose. You choose how everything, just like in Heavy Rain and every other Beyond Two Souls.
The engine looks so much better, though,
Yeah.
than in Beyond Two Souls and especially Heavy Rain.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
It looks like it's just running a lot better and that
Smoother.
there's a lot more decisions that actually impact the effect of the story. Like
Very
what,
much.
what it ends up with.
Depends on how many times, how many, is it like that with every single thing you do, or is it, big pieces that
Right.
that change like that? Remains to be seen, but it looks very interesting. But yeah, yours was Sony. What about you, Greg? What was your favorite conference?
No contest here.
Yeah.
Microsoft brought a really good conference. They showed some really cool hardware. They showed some really cool games, but I gotta give it to Sony.
Yep.
It was just from the beginning.
At every level, I would say, too.
Just the fact they started and continued with a live orchestra, unprecedented.
Also,
We have not seen this.
Like I said, Hideo was the only developer who walked up there.
Yeah.
Dude,
And then it was
there with like lights, like a rock.
Like he's God. He
What's
opened
up? I'm
his hands
Hideo.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm back.
Like it was the second coming of
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's how his intro was.
But it was just the fact that it's something
after
so
game.
simple that they decided to just change it up and not use dubstep to
Yeah.
intro their conference and actually have a
It was so
live
mature.
orchestra playing music
Honestly,
to their live gameplay demos. It was crazy. And then from the beginning to end, it was just hit after hit after hit. Whether it was live demo gameplay or a trailer, it was very
always
little
hit.
downtime between what you were seeing
I would say
game to
no
game.
downtime. It was just hit. Like I would say Microsoft's was like that too, but it's just everything. The storytelling that Sony teams can do. It's just there's
And
no
then
competition.
I
there.
feel like they were just constantly appealing to fans because this is what fans want to see is games. And then Crash was there.
Crash.
Like, I mean,
Crash was the
that was
only
nothing
actual-
more than just satisfying fans and making them happy, being like looking at our great IPs
dude.
and great characters that we have and our legacy of PlayStation and being like, here you go, guys.
yeah,
We're going to
Sony-
remaster all these Crash games for you.
Yeah, so yeah, Crash got remastered. 1, 2, and 3 are going to be remastered. It looks like Activision's working with Sony, so that's cool.
I mean, I could care less about Crash. But
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it much.
I
but
still think that was
Hey.
that was a cool thing of PlayStation. Just
I'm glad Tim Geddes is happy now. I'm glad he's
the
getting-
Bandicoot is saved. That's enough. We
Yeah.
don't have to hear about that shit anymore.
Yeah, Sony, especially after watching Microsoft conference was really good, like we said. I'd say,
But there wasn't like an Eagle Flight moment where it's like,
but I'm
here,
saying
we're just going to
especially-
take
but, like,
10 minutes to play this.
for a game that no one cares about.
This game.
But like, you look at Ubi's conference, and it's like the teenager.
Right.
It's like a pre-pubescent teenager that just doesn't know like what it wants to do.
Still doing the old ways.
Hey,
trying to be
fucking
so
fuck,
edgy.
hey, I'm fucking
Yeah.
Aisha, fucking Tim Tyler. Fucking fuck yeah. And I'm like, all right. And then you look at
I mean, Aisha's
Sony's,
great,
and it's like, oh my god, you're enthralled. It's
Class.
like, class, but it's almost like walking into a movie theater and watching an amazing movie for like 2 hours. That's how, and you walk out and you're like, wow, that was great.
Yeah.
That's how it felt like watching Sony's conference.
Anyone who says video games aren't art, check out Sony's conference.
Yep.
And fast forward past the part where they talk about Crash. Dude, Crash is the only interrupt in that conference.
I think so, yeah.
No, but
But I mean, even then, it wasn't.
but like
it wasn't that
okay
bad.
because
It was just because when they talked about Skylanders, like literally that whole first part where they're like, "We're remastering these games. This is all for the fans." And you're like, "Okay, cool." And then they showed Skylanders, and you were like,
But even still, it's fine because
But
it's a
even
short
then,
trailer. Because it's
okay,
not like,
yeah. Okay,
here's so and so
that-
with Activision, and here they're going to talk about how Crash is in Skylanders, and they're like, we're so excited about Crash being in Sky. Like, none of that was
the
there.
biggest negative to Sony's conference was they showed Lego Star Wars and they showed one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And hold on,
Lego
and they-
Star Wars
looked
With the orchestra
looked awesome.
playing
Yeah.
John
I'm
Williams
saying,
music.
That was probably one of the low points. It was cool,
Right,
Everything
because
else-
we already know that game's coming out, and like, we've seen it.
If the fact that Lego Star Wars and
And
then
Crash.
the Skylanders Crash thing for a minute had to happen, and also that Skylanders, like, we wouldn't have the cool announcement of all first three Crashes being remastered.
Oh, without that,
I would say
Star Wars-
Final
without the
Fantasy was
Skylanders.
also a down
So
point.
it's like, hey, you're getting all this amazing stuff,
plus what you want.
But you gotta watch this minute-long thing for Skylanders.
Oh, dude, I'm
That's
totally
fine.
fine with that. No, yeah. Hey, it's better than, hey, guys, we're about to bring in J.K. Rowling for Wonder Book.
Yeah, fuck
Enjoy this for 30 minutes.
Yeah. But, yeah, absolutely jaw-dropping, absolutely amazing conference. I don't know how they're going to top it. I hope that this sets what Sony's going to do every conference though.
Watch Microsoft have an orchestra next year, and it'd be terrible.
Like, honestly,
the worst orchestra you've ever heard.
But dude, shut up! I honestly don't want another.
Play the wrong song from a different game. They start playing the Halo theme during fucking I don't even know
Dead Rising.
No, during Minecraft or some shit. Wait, hold on. I want to talk about the Minecraft thing real quick. Why did they bring out the most annoying people possible and then randomly just throw in John Carmack being like, this is really cool being underground, seeing your cool dragon. I like this. I want to make a cool fortress.
I like
science lab
of
here.
that part and Brian Altano and Max Covell and everybody on the internet was making fun of it.
God,
the guy went,
so
let's
bad.
get out of here. And he sat there and didn't say anything for 7 seconds before he went on to something else.
Doing a minecart ride in VR is the greatest experience.
And then he just it almost looked like he's like, oh my god, millions of people are watching my soul is empty. I feel like I'm going to die. It was a good 7 seconds, man. But yeah, talking about Sony though, I hope they always have that an orchestra at every conference.
Presentation, just
that presentation. I don't want anything else. I just want that.
Yep.
I hope PlayStation conference. I think
it works for them too, being at night, the last one. Just the mood of it.
Dude, they're gonna hold that for at least the whole generation.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, Louther, why don't you finish it up for us?
Hey guys,
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us, as always, on these last 3 episodes on our E3 journey. But it comes to a close now.
We'll probably talk about it more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, next week we'll definitely talk about anything that...
We still got some stuff we left, there's Persona 5 stuff we got to talk about. And
looks so good.
For sure, dude. We'll definitely talk about E3 and news next week. But we'll have another topic for you guys. But other than that, though, thanks for joining us on this E3 extravaganza. As always, your host, Louther Mustafa. Joining me, Greg T.
Stay frosty, friends.
And Nathan Haller.
Doses.
And
rest in peace, Chow.
Rest in peace, the Chow lover, Gabriel.
Chows are
Cuesta.
dead.
Hopefully he'll be back next week.
Hopefully. If not, we'll continue going on as we always do.
It was the dream team. All right, later, guys.